Sidechaining. So in the recent few years, a few producing techniques have gained sort of a notoriety or popularity, one of it being sidechaining. So sidechain compression isn't something new, something out of the blue. If you found that my explanation of sidechaining isn't that great, well, it's okay, because I'm just a beginner as well. I just learned it today and decided to make this production vlog video of how I learned this technique and how I used it. So here we have a brand new Fruity Loops session where I have basically nothing. So let's choose a bass first, and here we have an 808, and then we will choose a kick. And I made this pattern basically with the two sounds. So a quick note is that you don't have to sidechain all the time. A lot of producers have come out and said that sidechaining actually isn't needed in most tracks, but it is a good technique to know and it's something new for me to try. So there's a few ways to sidechain, and I learned it from YouTube, in particular in the mix, and also Dylan Tallchief, shout out to them. So in the mix, in the mix video about sidechaining, he basically showed two very basic ways to sidechain. One of it is using Fruity Limiter. So that's what I used in this situation. So with the 808s and kick just now, I put them in the channel rack, and basically you can see over here there's this little arrow. So first you need to select the kick, and after that you would need to go to the sub, and there's a little arrow there, and right click and you will see sidechain to this track, and after you press that you can basically sidechain. I put on Fruity Limiter, and we can ignore this part and go to the compression part. In compression part we can basically alter the ratio and also the threshold to give until some sidechaining is occurring in the mix. No pun intended. Got it! And after that you will have this effect. And in this track, it's not really obvious the sidechaining happening. So I would bring you to this song, which I'm working with one of my friends. It has a dancehall EDM feel, which is basically where most of the sidechaining in music happens. This is really obvious, and as you can see, I have multiple sounds in the channel rack and did the sidechaining technique using Fruity Limiter for the synth bass and the kick. Without the Fruity Limiter, the waveform of the two sounds basically sound very chunky, and there's no compression occurring. But with the limiter, there's compression happening, and if that's what you want, then it works. And the other method of sidechaining, which I might as well share it here, you can check it out in the video links in the description, is that if you have gross beat, which I don't because it's in the beta edition of FL Studio, you can basically sidechain straight away from there. You don't need to go through the hustle of using Fruity Limiter. So those are the two techniques that I learned. I hope you can learn something from this video, because I certainly did, and see you in the next video.